What's up, Haunters, and welcome to episode 2 of Prototype, the series I'm making, where in each episode we check out a different prototype animatronic, or even an ISE from Spirit Halloween, and we talk about it, check out the animatronic and everything it could have been. As you remember, last time we checked out the Barrel Clowns, which is an awesome prototype animatronic. I love checking that out, and if you want to check out that video, I'll have it linked at the end of this video. But of course, for today, we're checking out another awesome prototype animatronic. Today, we're checking out Sawwin Sally, which is another very popular Spirit Halloween prototype animatronic. And this prototype is probably the one that we know the most information about. Lots of prototypes, there's very limited information about it. Like you could have seen in my last video, there wasn't too much to go over about the animatronic. But for this animatronic, there is quite a few awesome things to talk about for this animatronic. But before we go more in depth about it, let's of course start off by checking out a demo video of this prop. And that there, of course, was the first demo video. But I still have one more demo video to show you because unlike lots of other prototype animatronics, this prototype right here, there was multiple different variations of it made. And we have two official demo videos posted of two different versions of this animatronic. So let's check out the second prototype version of this animatronic. And with that, that is the two demo videos we have of this animatronic. And currently at the time I am filming this video, it's the two demo videos we know of. There's not any others I could find. But honestly, this animatronic, it looks awesome. I really wish it was sold because this thing looks crazy, especially the version where it had the chainsaw. That is really awesome. But now continuing on with the video, now that we saw what this prop does, let's talk a bit more about what happened with this animatronic, some information about it, because this animatronic, it has a crazy story about what exactly happened with this animatronic. But first, let's talk about some base information about this animatronic. So, of course, this animatronic would have been known as Sawwin Sally, and in the one prototype, we can see it would have featured a chainsaw, which is really cool, given it the Sawwin name. And this would have been sold for the 2017 season if it was released, and it actually got really close to being released for that year, which I'll talk more about that in a minute. And we do actually know the price on this because it was almost released. It was going to be sold for $160, but unfortunately, it just never actually got produced. It would have stood 5.6 feet tall, so not the biggest animatronic, but definitely not the smallest. 5.6 feet, pretty good height, especially for what it would have been, $160. It would have been made by Pan Asian Creations, which makes some cool props. And exclusivity status, this would have been a Spirit Halloween exclusive animatronic, and this is probably a design that Spirit Halloween owns the rights to, so other companies can't just produce an animatronic if they want. But yeah, that is all the base information we know about this prop. Definitely a bit more than what we knew for the Barrel Clowns I talked about last week. But now, as we get on from the base information into some more details about this animatronic, we actually get to discover way more about what this prop was. And we get to see some really cool details about this animatronic, including that it almost actually got sold in stores. So, of course, the first thing I really want to talk about this animatronic is how it actually was very, very close to being sold in stores. If you look at this photo I've currently put on screen, you can see it actually set up in the Spirit Hollow display. It was eventually replaced by Limb Ripper at the last moment for an unknown reason. But basically, it would have been sold right there in 2017, but for some reason, it just never got released for some reason, which is crazy because this photo with the whole intact ISC and everything, this was probably taken like just months or maybe even sooner before flagship opened. So just within like months or even weeks of flagship opening, this animatronic, they just decided not to produce it or sell it at all, which is kind of crazy, being that we have this photo of it actually being set up in the display and planned to be released this season. And now some other cool stuff about this is there were actually 10 confirmed versions made of this animatronic. That means there's 10 prototype animatronics of this that are out there or were out there at some point. Unfortunately, we do only know of 2 prototypes at the moment I'm recording this. 2 being the 2 different videos I showed you earlier in this video. So the other 8 or maybe even more versions, they could still be somewhere in Spirit Halloween's warehouse, maybe waiting to be released in the future, maybe, who knows? Or maybe some haunter that never shared that they own one of these owns them and we don't know. Or they could have been just scrapped for parts by the company that made them. Or they just were thrown out because if Spirit Halloween's not planning on selling them, why keep them, I guess. And something else we know about this is its first name for this animatronic was actually Shaken Sarah. And the audio used for the prototype of this animatronic was actually from the movie Craft. And that's where kind of the name Sarah for this prop came from. And then, of course, some other stuff I had mentioned earlier is it would have been placed in Spirit Hollow, so it wouldn't have been an online-only or in-box-only prop. It would have been an actual one that appeared in the display for that year, which would have been awesome. And, of course, we know that for some reason, at the last moment, it was replaced with Limb Ripper, which is so strange that they decided to do that, which is just so weird. I don't know why they just decided to replace it, but for some reason they did that, and hopefully in the future we can figure out why they canceled this animatronic, because this one I think I would have preferred over Limb Ripper if I'm to be honest, so I really want to know why they decided not to sell this. Alright, and with that, that is all the kind of information and cool stuff we know about this animatronic. Could have been released for 2017, got very close to actually being released, which is awesome and everything. And with all that said, that's it for today's video, everyone. Hopefully you did enjoy check out this animatronic as much as I did, because this one is a really cool one. And this animatronic would have been awesome to see a final version made of it. But of course, that's it for today's video. If you haven't checked out episode 1 yet of Prototype, it was really awesome. We checked out the barrel clowns, and you can click on the video on screen, or that's about to pop up on screen, to check out that video, which is an awesome one. Thanks for all the support on it. Lots of you loved it, and I'm excited to be making this series. With all that said, that's it. I'll see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Goodbye.